Good evening, I'm Noel Local. The parents of the terminally ill baby, Charlie Guard, have ended their legal battle to take their child out from London to the U.S. for experimental treatment. The decision was announced yesterday by the baby's parents after a U.S. neurologist said it was too late to offer Charlie the experimental nucleoside therapy after seeing the baby's latest MRI results. Following the decision, the Catholic Bishops' Conference of England and Wales expressed their deepest sympathy and prayers for the family in a statement issued on their website. Charlie was born in England with a rare DNA depletion syndrome, which causes progressive muscle weakness, brain damage, respiratory and liver failure, and is typically fatal. The British hospital believed that the baby had no chance to survive, but the parents crowdfunded nearly $1.7 million in 4 months to finance having their baby treated in the U.S. When hospital officials wanted to stop providing life support for the baby, the parents went to the London court with their case that garnered world media attention. But the court ruled that the baby should be allowed to die with dignity and allow the doctors to end the life support. It is hot outside, and while we complain of the heat here in Canada, Rome is being crucified under one of the worst droughts in decades, so much so that the Vatican has decided to shut down 100 of its historic city-state water fountains. The Vatican announced earlier today that the drought has led the Holy See to take measures aimed at saving water. This decision is in line with the teachings of Pope Francis, who reminds us in Laudato Si how the habit of wasting has reached unprecedented levels and that fresh drinking water is an issue of primary importance because it is indispensable for human life. The prolonged drought has forced Rome city officials to shut down some of its public drinking fountains in June and may lead to further water rationing for the city's estimated 1.5 million residents in the months to come. And while pilgrims and visitors have long marveled at the majestic fountains of St. Peter's Square since the construction in the 17th century, Vatican spokesperson Greg Burke told CNS that the move to switch off the fountains is the Vatican's way of putting Laudato Si into action, he said. Let's not waste water. Now, here in Canada, it's been over 6 months since the terrible mass shooting at the Islamic Cultural Center in Quebec City in January, in an incident that shocked the world and garnered unprecedented pouring of support for the victims from Canadians across the country. Cardinal Lacroix, the Cardinal Archbishop of Quebec, looks back at the tragedy and explains how it has changed the Catholic-Muslim relationship for Canadians, especially in that province.
I would say that that tragedy, that very difficult tragedy that we experienced at the end of January this year, has opened a new chapter in our relationships with our Muslim brothers and sisters. We were caught by surprise like everyone. We knew that there were many Muslims in our city and in our towns. We had a respectful but distant relationship. We did not know each other very much. I had met a few Muslims and a few imams, but this tragedy opened the doors to a closer relationship. We shared with them their grief, their suffering. We shared with them our presence. We invited a few of them to come to a mass in one of our Catholic churches to pray for their victims and their families and ask the Lord to support them. And I participated in both funerals in Montreal and in Quebec. And surprisingly, in Quebec, they asked me to say a few words at the funeral, which really touched me. And I have become friends with some of them. One in particular, a Muslim who's been in Quebec for many years, and we have become brothers, getting to know each other. I think that this experience has helped us to tear down walls of ignorance, the fact that we didn't know each other. You know, when you don't know someone, you can be very scared. When you get to know who they are, their family, how they live, it helps to build relationships. So I think we will never be the same. We're better today, I think. And it's evident that Muslims are very different from Christians. We're all created in God's image. We're all the people of God. And we have different ways of worshiping and different beliefs. That needs to be respected. I'm happy to be a Christian and a Catholic. They're happy to be Muslims. We respect that. We don't try and mingle everything, make it all together, the same thing, because it's not. But we can live together respectfully. And we're learning to do that slowly.
In just 4 days from now, the largest gathering of Catholic Asian youth happens in Indonesia for the 7th Annual Asian World Youth Day. This event started in 1999 in Thailand and is held every 3 years and attended by more than 2,000 Catholic youth from various countries in Asia to participate in various Catholic-oriented events. This year, all the festivities begin on July 30th and run until August 9th. The 6th Annual Asian Youth Day was attended by the Pope in 2014, which took place in South Korea. For detailed information on the event, you can visit their official website at asiayouthday.org. And that's all that we have time for today. Join us again tomorrow when I bring you more news and stories from the perspective of a Catholic lens. Thanks for joining us.